Can I?
It says you're live. Like I can see your screen and I'm in the chat.
Oh, can you hear me?
No. Oh yes, we can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's just delayed.
Oh, that's a long delay.
It's fine. I'm gonna go back out maybe I can. Yeah. You know, it's fine. Might just because we're so close.
How do I type in the chat?
I'm waiting to see what his answer is going to be on me.
Let's see. Let me go take a look at some things real quick. You do want cat eye, right?
I just was looking for something like that, like I like the way it
What are you
follows
wearing
around.
tomorrow?
Probably these will be like the standout. I'm probably wearing like a nice black V-neck sweater that I have, some dark jeans with So anything I have on my face is really gonna stand out. So I didn't do dark. Maybe dark.
Well,
Did it work?
what?
Are you live?
Yeah.
Is anybody else in?
No.
Do you have a share button?
Yes. I do have a share button.
That Facebook you share it?
If you want to share it on Facebook, I will too.
How do I see the people?
So if you go to the top three dots, it should be share. Are you live?
I am live. What do you mean? What? I don't know.
First of all, you shouldn't do that.
I was trying to figure out how to make it a landscape, but
No way to do it that way. Do it this way. First of all, and that way it's out of your way. You can do it like that.
we are just getting set up here.
There's nobody in here but Kate, so it's fine.
There's 13 people there.
Does it?
I think.
Is there?
I don't know how to see.
Oh, it must. Oh my goodness.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Just let it go.
Well, I wanted to give you a good angle.
It's fine.
Can you read from there, though?
Nope.
That's it.
Oh, there's likes. Thank you.
Try not to touch it because it's wobbly with this thing on.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the best it's going to get.
All right.
Maybe.
You share it on Facebook?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Pokemon he likes?
Alrighty. This is my first ever live stream, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know how to see who's in the chat. I don't know how to look at the chat.
You can look at the chat just by looking at your screen.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how to type in the chat.
Can you read the questions that are currently in the chat right now?
How cool are some of your neighbors on a Pokemon scale of Tyranitar being number 1? Probably Mega Tyranitar. All right. So I think this is all energy.
There, you know
So, yeah, basically I'm just going to be sorting cards here. Anybody that wants to throw some questions in the chat, go right ahead. Are you opening packs?
Do you have it like labeled as?
I am not opening packs, unfortunately, tonight. I don't have anything to open. Eventually, I would like to do rip and ships, potentially. Something to think about in the future. But not tonight. Let's see here.
Man, I'm so
Do you need maybe a page?
directionless.
I don't know.
I just think it washes like the complexion.
Ooh, no.
I'm not using
Hmm.
I'm gonna start prepping your hands though.
It looks like you're doing tarot. Pokemon Tarot would be an interesting expansion, I will say. Let's see. Let's do a reading real quick. Shuffle up. This is interesting. I have no idea what the volume is like or anything.
You can ask your people, like, can you hear me all right?
Can you hear me now? Is this shuffling super loud? All right. The water. What does the water represent? Change and flow state as you move along the river of life. Okay. Fire.
Earth. Air.
Oh, I didn't get earth, but I got electric, which is kind of like air. I'll have to think about that one. Oh. Oh. The one who cuts the cheese.
Who's that?
I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not, but just sorting. These are actually the cards from your collection. Just sorting the energy at the moment. I was trying to do tarot, but that didn't work out too well. So yeah, dropping likes in there. So yeah, that is Tom. Thank you for these beautiful energy cards. All right. Another stack of energy. Oh, that's weird.
Are they lucky cat?
It is.
Friend Laura back from Japan.
Are you? You're both in there?
Yeah.
That's weird. It says only 2. But yeah. Eventually I'll figure out, maybe I ought to get music on here too. That'll be exciting. But then I have to figure out how to get music that isn't copyrighted and stuff.
I think so, because that was fabulous.
Actually, Tom would be a good gauge since he's not in the same room as me. Can you hear me okay? How's like the audio and stuff? I have no idea.
And then I can do a little bit. 8 stars. In gold.
I'm also wondering, I think there's a
That would be beautiful.
decent, oh, it says sounds great. All right. Let's get it. It's like the most basic, oh wow, that's not an energy.
I can feel it.
Basic setup possible.
I'm trying to look at it.
So
I
it's
can't tell which one is-
Glad to hear that the sound is good. Yeah, just working off my phone still here, so maybe eventually I will have a computer set up to do this with. That's a great question. Actually, we got a live question from the crowd. What do you do with all this energy? Eventually, I'll split it up and sort it into energy packs to list on eBay. Not a ton of money in energy necessarily, but every little bit counts. Yeah, I don't know if I can have music playing on my phone while I'm doing this. I don't know if that's a possibility.
No. I
No?
will always prioritize the live stream.
Huh. So it's got to be, so it'd have to be
We need
done,
another device.
yeah, through a computer then, right?
What kind of music would you play?
Probably just lo-fi.
Yeah. For my labs, I'd have to play like lyric list stuff because I got a warning for saying.
People who play the card game will love the energy packs. Yeah, yes, for sure.
That makes me think of
You do need energy to play the game.
I don't know if you have like meditation music. Is that like
Yeah, I think basically
I'm sure I can find like.
you put them in like groups of, I think 20 or 25 of each and sell them for like $8 or something, free shipping. So I think you make like $1 or $2 per energy pack, but
What is your eBay store's name so I can look this up?
eBay store is T-Tar Commissions and Collectibles. How would you get a supplier if you don't have a storefront? And if you only sell on eBay, how would one go about that? That is a fascinating question. I don't have a supplier. Basically, all I do at the moment is buy collections, either like locally or try to find deals on eBay for auctions, and then piece them out and resell them back on eBay. Basically, what I'm doing with this, because I'm brand new to this, never been on social media ever before, pretty boomer-ish when it comes to social media. I don't know if you're familiar with Brian from Pokey&E. He kind of recommended to start making content, get on YouTube, basically, just to kind of make content and branch out, build like a brand, basically, and then hopefully over time, the goal is to be able to get distribution through that, because apparently a lot of distributors and things like that will like watch YouTube because they're people too, obviously, and they enjoy this stuff most of the time. So that's one way to kind of get discovered. I guess another way is if you get big enough just reselling, you might have a distributor reach out to you. So I know right now it's basically impossible because it's so backed up with the way the market is that you basically have just no shot of getting distribution at the moment. Is it too late to get into the space and make money while also being a true collector? I would say no, because that's basically what I do. So really like just start buying collections if that's what you want to do. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. I personally am just buying like single collections, piecing them out, reselling them on eBay. I think it's important, like it's tough probably to separate collecting from starting a business, especially if it kind of depends on your situation, like how much money or capital you have to put into it. Because like I do have a collection. I collect basically like Tyranitar cards. That's where the name of the channel comes from. But since I've started doing the business part, my collecting has definitely slowed down. So it's a little tough, unless you have the funds to kind of support both essentially. And then you just kind of have to decide. And it's also kind of recommended, like maybe you want to sell your personal collection in order to like start the business. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do both. I think it would also be important to kind of set parameters for what you're collecting, because a lot of people might just kind of like collect everything in a way. Like you just, oh, I like that card, I like that card, I like that card. So maybe have like some specific collection goals, and then when you complete those, then you kind of, it's done, and you either move on, pick something else, or you're done for a little while, and you can kind of go back into putting money into your business. That's probably what I recommend. But yeah, I do both, and I just started this the beginning of 2025, so it's only been about a year, and here I am. So making YouTube videos, which is a new experience for me. So yeah, definitely still room to make money. I mean, I think this time in the hobby is the best time to do it because Pokemon is extremely popular, mainstream, getting a lot of attention. I know Logan Paul was in the news again with that whole Pikachu situation. Whatever weirdness was going on with that re-slabbed Pikachu and whatever, it's Logan Paul. But yeah, I mean, he made the news again. So yeah, Pokemon is just in a pretty crazy space at the moment. So there's a lot of eyes on it. So I think now is probably one of the best times. The counter to that, though, is that it can be tough to find stuff to sell because of that. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, I guess you would say. But yeah, give it a shot. I mean, ultimately, I started just kind of rambling at this point, but I guess that's the point of a live stream, right? Basically, I started eBay because I wanted a way to sell off long-term like holding of sealed stuff. So I just started eBay as a way to kind of like build a store and a way to liquidate that stuff eventually. But I ended up, so like I was just kind of selling cheaper cards here and there that I had in my personal collection that I didn't really care for that much, just to start getting like feedback on eBay and kind of building a reputation. But then I ended up liking it. So I was like, I wonder if I can kind of take this to the next level. And a year later, I'm making YouTube content and live with 6 people watching me, which is crazy because if 6 people were in the room here with me, I would be like, oh, holy crap. So yeah, give it a shot. I would definitely recommend it. It's been fun. If you like Pokemon, you like cards, it's a nice way to either have like a little side gig, have some additional income. It's a nice way to get rid of cards that you open that you don't really care for, all that stuff. So 10 recommend. Was this Lost Thunder? Now I'm just sorting these by set basically. So yeah, that Pikachu sold for $16.5 million. And it came with a diamond encrusted necklace, because why not? Who knows how much that's worth? Logan Paul just chucked it in there just for fun. I think he bought it for like $5 million back in 2020 or 2021. So yeah, just a lot of eyes on the hobby right now from like a larger money perspective. People starting to view it as potential like true investments or collectibles in the same way that obviously sports cards, fine art, things like that, like alternative investments versus like your traditional stocks and precious metals and real estate and stuff like that. So what do we got here? Pumpkin was cute. It's always fun just kind of looking through these, even though they're just like regular bulk cards. A lot of times those don't really get, the art doesn't get as appreciated. Everybody's chasing after like the big alt arts and things like that. So chain, the holder. Oh, it was 75,000. I would have expected it to honestly be more than that because it was just like a bunch of diamonds and stuff. But kind of surprised to hear it was actually only 75,000. And I say only 75,000 as it's just still a wild amount of money. But yeah, I guess when you're talking about $16.5 million card, then 75,000 isn't that much in comparison. Oh, where's it? Shiny? Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, basically I am sorting these by set. So that way I can kind of look through each set and see like which cards might have a little bit of value that might be worth listing separately on eBay. Tends to be tough when you're talking about like bulk cards and stuff like that, because eBay's minimum is $1. You can't go less than $1. So what do you do with the bulk cards? ProSnip says. So basically I'm going to be sorting these and sifting through to see if there's anything worth listing individually on eBay. That's I don't use TCG Player at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to be sifting through these, and if there's anything that's like 75 cents or above, basically I'll look to list it individually on eBay. And then anything that's kind of like 50 cents or less, like I'll probably just sell that in bulk lots, which I haven't decided. These are a little bit older. These are like Sun and Moon XY eras. So I might look to sell these a little bit more than like modern bulk. But yeah, I'll probably just end up making bulk lots of just like miscellaneous randomized cards to resell on eBay. Yeah, I do think it's important, especially when you're kind of just starting out, to try to like squeeze every last bit you can out of everything, like when you buy collections and stuff. I always say, like in my videos and stuff, like when you're just starting, like early on, you want to be doing things that maybe aren't necessarily scalable long term, but that might get you like a little bit of extra margins every dollar, every little bit of that extra money really makes a bigger difference when you're just starting, because you maybe don't have like the startup capital to just be able to dump into it. So even like something like this, obviously, is a little more time consuming, and it's going a little slower, obviously, if I'm trying to like keep track of chat a little bit and answer questions, which is awesome. But yeah, like this, if you look at breaking out of like an hourly rate, it's not going to be a lot, but as I'm trying to just kind of build up extra capital, every little bit helps. So until you're like at a point where doing this just doesn't make sense because you can make more money doing something else with your business, I would recommend just kind of looking to do some of this type of stuff. Can I scroll through the chat? Were you looking to get started, ProSnip? Or is that somebody else that had asked about kind of like getting started in the market that we're in right now? Go lurk. These are all the same.
Oh wow, that's such a difference.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there's a bumpy before for real.
Let's try it again.
Nice Ivysaur. Bulbasaur is my favorite starter of all time. Boring. It was almost Sprigatito, but what they did to Masquerada is just not right. Yeah, I do not like when like a Pokemon goes from quadrupedal to bipedal for some reason. It just doesn't do it for me. What we got here? What was your best find in a collection? Well, I guess I have a follow-up question. Is that like unexpected, or is it like the best card that I've gotten from a collection?
Unexpected.
Unexpected. So in the first lot that I bought, which was like towards the end of December of last year, I was going through and found a reverse hollow all night party. I don't even remember what set it was from. But it was a trainer, like a stadium card or something. It has an Umbreon in the art, which I'm guessing is why it was so expensive. I just happened to look, and it was like $15, I think, raw, when technically I bought it for like a penny. So that was a pretty big find. And I checked on eBay, like comp sales, and sent it into PSA to be graded, because if it comes back like an 8, which is kind of what I'm predicting based on the way it looked, it's going to be like $80 to $100. So that's probably the best find if you're talking about just margins. Like if you pay a penny for something and sell it for $100, you're doing pretty good.
Do you still own it?
It is at PSA right now.
Oh, so that was recent find.
Yeah. That was back in December.
Let me see that hand again.
I think I have double stacks going on here a little bit. That's okay. Where did this go?
Were you a fan of the Detective Pikachu movies?
Detective Pikachu? Yeah, we love those movies. There's actually some cards from that in this collection too, which is awesome. I'm interested. I have sealed at the moment. I use TCG Collector and go to LCS and try to buy under market. Yeah. Yep. So, are you looking to, like, what are you doing with the sealed? Are you looking to kind of hold that longer term as like an investment? Because if that is what you're looking to do, I'd probably recommend doing the same thing, because eventually you figure you're going to need like an outlet to sell that, which is why I started my eBay store in the first place. So I would definitely recommend like at least starting eBay and just selling off some singles here and there, and just work to get some good feedback and stuff like that, just to build a little bit of a reputation. Even if it's not a lot, just hop on there, try to sell like a couple cards a month or so, just to kind of build up that reputation and the feedback. Because when you go to sell it later, that you're going to kind of need that for anybody to buy something, of pretty high value off of you. So, but yeah, as far as going to your LCS and trying to buy under market, that makes sense too. I've had a couple deals come through just by hanging out at local shops. I also go to pre-releases now because it's just fun. But you kind of meet people, and then sometimes you could pick up cards there too. But yeah, basically I try to buy at about 70% of market, give or take. And that kind of fluctuates too. If it's stuff that's like, if it's less stuff or stuff that's like super high value, you might be able to go up to like 75. If it's like lots of just kind of stuff that's going to be hard to move through, you're probably looking at like 60 or so. So yeah, Detective Pikachu was such a great movie. We actually watched that recently. It was like maybe a year or two ago. We rewatched it. And I just like how it was like a kind of like a remake of the original anime movie too, in a lot of ways. Sitting on it at the moment, 8 ETBs of prismatic and bundles. So some mega sealed ETBs, Costco. Oh yeah, I mean with the way the market is at the moment, like if you're able to get stuff at market, then you can almost flip it like double, So I mean, those ETBs are prismatic. Yeah, I would recommend just holding on to those. That stuff's going to the moon, in my opinion. I think it's going to rotate next spring. I think
Straight across
next April.
that area right by where your front door is.
So-
you're no longer walking back, but then people can't get backyard. So nowhere else you would go to cut that off.
Once, I mean, you figure, think about it now, right? That stuff is more than double MSRP currently, and it's still in print, and they've printed it like nonstop for the last year. So, and it's still, the price is out of control. So I would definitely expect prismatic to do very well long term.
But I don't know if that kind of mechanism would work long term with the sliding over weather and everything.
All right, we got another stack here. Actually, this
It has
Pikachu
no,
has a good
fence,
chance of being
and then
worth
just,
like
put
$1
that
or
wall
so.
between Where 2 yards are.
I don't want.
I don't know about
Like,
fairy
actually
energies
fenced
either.
Yeah, I want it fenced in. I want a gate with a lock because I don't want her coming into our backyard. Like that's. I don't. Why are you in our backyard?
Oh, that's a different set, I think. Alrighty.
Like,
Yeah, the idea of sealed investing with Pokemon is fascinating. It's one of those things where like it's not really accepted as being like real by the majority of people. But when you actually look at like kind of the, I guess you would call it the performance, right? It's like
the windows are open.
always
Right here, guys. Right here.
like doing very well. I mean, granted, we're in like a crazy time right now, but the stuff that I have has way outperformed any like stock positions that I have, just as a, and even then, you figure the stock market is doing pretty well at the moment too.
I'm like, no.
But sealed Pokemon is still doing better, which is interesting.
That I'm going to
Just do a whole Bad Bunny.
Oh, absolutely. He's on there for sure. I have a lot of like Spanish and Mexican followers. I'm gonna ask them for
Alrighty.
I was like, I need to do
Actually, I
that
want to
the way
combine
that
these two
we
piles
do
real
it.
quick because I think I had that one up there. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what set that is exactly. I have no idea about these. That'll be the other thing too, is like when I'm actually working off of the, like I can't use my phone to look up any prices at the moment on any of this stuff, which is kind of funny. But let's see.
Yes. Little glimmers make it.
All
I
right.
can't remember this combo.
Judge might, I think. Judge is pretty good card in the TCG. So trainers, like as you're going through bulk and stuff, trainers tend to have like a higher chance of actually having some value versus like random Pokemon and stuff, unless you're talking about super popular ones like Pikachu or Eevee, Lucians, Eevee, Charmander, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you're ever sorting through bulk and you're just kind of want to do like a quick skim, generally just pull out the trainers and go from there. For some reason that they tend to have value. I guess there's older formats. I don't play a ton of Pokemon outside of like pre-releases and stuff, but I think there's older formats called like expanded or something, where the trainers actually tend to have some decent value because I guess they get played in that format. 2 PC Ascending Heroes. That is awesome. Congratulations on that.
Oh yeah. I have a suspicion that she's reporting my content.
I personally,
Strikes for things that don't make sense. Like I've seen worse on TikTok, kind of that, you know.
I personally haven't
But I don't
had any luck with
I don't know.
Pokemon Center releases for like the last multiple.
So I made a backup account in case it gets banned.
I was able to buy some PC ETBs off of like people locally that were able to get them direct from Pokemon Center, and they sold them to me for close to market price, basically. But yeah, Pokemon Center ETBs are definitely
Just like ponytailing.
like a really good way to go when it comes to sealed, just because there's that extra like exclusivity to them. You know, it's not like much lower printing. You can only get them from the Pokemon Center, et cetera, et cetera. And honestly, even like just booster boxes in general at this point, because it seems like Pokemon's not reprinting booster boxes like they haven't for a while. You know, it's like, where are the Destined Rivals reprints? It's crazy. Box is $600,
Celebrate 20 years this year, or is it last?
and it's not even a year old.
This year's our 25th.
So that kind of just goes back to that thing of like,
My family.
if they don't reprint the booster box, then the booster box is scarce, you know, and that's
Adult-only vacation.
just the natural cycle of supply and demand. So
Well, Jared's supposed to go too, but this will be our little vacation, just adults, a whole bunch of adults. So I'm looking forward to that.
but yeah, I don't know who all is here, but
Maybe just do something. real quick.
welcome to the Sand Stream. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna coin it
So cool.
the Sand Stream. Maybe eventually, when I can figure out how to play music, we'll get some Sandstorm going. There we go. Who needs YouTube music when you have live orchestra? I don't know if that's copyrighted.
Yeah, you might want to turn that off.
That's what I don't know. I have to figure that kind of stuff out. But I appreciate the effort. Would prefer to only deal with sealed. Well, I'd like to have a supplier, but I don't have a shop. I was asking if I had the money for sealed to go down the route or straight up buy collection and go eBay. I mean, the other alternative is you can just try to find sealed collections. I mean, a lot of people are selling those for a variety of reasons, like maybe because their stuff has doubled or tripled in price. They're looking to just cash out before it comes back down. You know, that's a possibility. So definitely keep your eye out for that. I haven't had a lot of luck with it yet because I've been busy enough just kind of buying collections locally.
You want more stars?
But I've heard that going into like Facebook groups is a good option to try to find sealed collections or just collections in general. I've heard that Facebook Marketplace is like terrible because I don't know. I haven't personally tried like had an experience with it, but I've just heard from other like YouTubers and stuff that Facebook Marketplace is terrible, but Facebook groups are good. Facebook Marketplace, I think everybody thinks their stuff is worth like $1 million and they want 110% of market. So it's probably not worth your time. But Facebook groups might be a good avenue for you, and then it's still like local. So I'd probably recommend checking that out if you want to stick with sealed. The fakes is what I'm worried about, or resealed. Yeah, unfortunately, that's tough. I mean, that's kind of always been the case, even when Pokemon wasn't as crazy as it is now. Fakes are still, you know, pretty rampant. So just try to do your research, you know. If there's something you're targeting, maybe check on Reddit. It's probably a good resource to see, like, just so you can identify, you know, what might make it fake, because different eras and different sets and different things like that are probably going to have different like printings or wraps or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of just always a concern, and there's not a ton you can do about it other than just try to do your best to do some research and educate yourself. And also, I would say, like, don't be afraid to, you know, inspect something when you meet up with somebody, and like if they're being weird, just leave, you know. Like if, I don't know, you hear like all these crazy horror stories, like somebody just wants to meet up and then they're trying to like change the price when you get there, and I don't know, they're just trying to like hand you like a weird bag. Like, just, I don't know. Take the time. Don't be afraid to kind of stand up for yourself and, inspect whatever you're going to be buying, because the stuff is potentially a lot of money. So, and if somebody's just being like weird or shady about it, then I would just leave, because it's not worth it. Not worth the headaches, and you can probably find another deal somewhere else. So. Trying to understand the plastics on boxes and ETBs, like the wrap. I think, well, at least on booster boxes, current booster boxes, like modern stuff, has like the white Pokeball print on it. I think that's actually on all of them ever since the Pokemon Company took over from Wizards, but I might be mistaken on that. And then ETBs just have like a regular plastic wrap on them. You did mention that you go to like Costco and stuff, so that stuff obviously is going to be good too. And I would also recommend just leaving it. A lot of times the Costco stuff is like bundled with multiple different items, like in the same package. I would probably recommend just leaving it in that, because the more like wraps and plastic and stuff that's on the product, the better. And usually it's going to have it like hold value a little bit better too. So, oh no, I got mixed up here somewhere. Hold on real quick. This is Burnished Shadows. Somehow I got that mixed up with the other one. Or it's a Crimson Invasion. I think Crimson Invasion and Burning Shadows set logo looks kind of similar. So there we go. We're back. Back on track. I made the mistake and dumped 2K and Lorcana sealed. So I'll be sitting on that for a while. Yeah, Lorcana is actually something I am not familiar with at all. I will say one thing. I bought one of the first chapter boxes, and that is the only thing that I have for Lorcana, because I kind of figured it's like relatively low risk, I guess. But who knows where it might go, Nobody expected Pokemon base set booster boxes to be worth like $300,000 today, so who knows, right? And what's worst case scenario, you're risking like 100 some bucks. But yeah, as far as like other Lorcana stuff goes, I do not have any experience with that. But I just kind of figured like the first chapter base set was probably one of the best bets. So I just have one of those, and that's it. It seems to be holding on okay. I think they reprint stuff pretty frequently, from what I've like heard or understand, except for maybe the original stuff. I'm not really sure. What's your holy grail? It is a first edition PSA 10 Shining Tyranitar. Is my personal holy grail. I think the most recent sale on that card is $16,000. So that's my goal, is to have one of those. I think I'll probably eventually buy one that's like damaged, just to have it, and then kind of work my way up from there. Where did this go? Yeah, the only box I wanted now, but the thing about that, it has no wrap for first chapters. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think the box I have does not have a plastic wrap. I guess they have. Does it have like a tear strip, maybe? I think. And I also heard something about, I guess, with the way that Lorcana was done, they're sold in like master cases or whatever. And like there was only one super fancy card. I'm not sure what they're called in Lorcana. Like, yeah, I can't remember. Somebody was explaining it to me one time. But if the case has like 6 booster boxes, only one booster box in that case would have like the, character rare or whatever it was called, like the super fancy like alt art or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. I don't know how that will impact long-term value too. If it's just like a loose box, and I don't know if there's any way to like check for. Yeah, enchanted. There it is. So I don't know if there's any way to like check, like or figure out if the box has an enchanted rare or not. Maybe we'll. And I don't know how that's going to impact value long term, like for loose boxes. So it is interesting though. So is it like guaranteed that every case has an enchanted rare, or is it still just like only a chance, and you're just more likely because it's 6 boxes? Yeah, that is weird with the delay.
Everybody else have it?
Lucky only. Oh, so it's still luck only. So the case isn't guaranteed to have an enchanted rare, it sounds like. So I guess that's actually kind of better if you're going to be trying to sell loose boxes later on. Because then people, I mean, either way, you're just kind of risking it for the biscuit. I will go ahead. I have somebody who will want this. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. The old Gibble.
I'm gonna take a picture of you doing that with like what your friends will do to make you pretty. They're willing to go through.
Yeah, you'll probably be, like you said, might be sitting on the Lorcana for a little while, but that's, is what it is. It's not too bad. I'm sure eventually it'll go up in price.
There you go.
A lot of these are Hidden Fates. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat. I don't know if these fairy energies are worth anything because they are discontinued. They don't exist anymore.
How do you clean a Pokemon card?
In 90 seconds.
In 90 seconds. Mind you, all the enchanted aren't worth top money, only a few. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, in 90 seconds, we're about the lamp, not the question.
Oh, I thought it was about the question. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I guess that's kind of the same case with Pokemon, right? Like, even with, everybody knows Evolving Skies, like the Umbreon VMAX alt art is crazy expensive, but then I don't know what else is in that set. Like the Reggie Drago alt art is, $50 or whatever. Those prices probably aren't accurate, but kind of the same idea. Like not every special fancy card is going to be super valuable. How do I clean Pokemon cards? Basically, where'd it go? I had this like little bottle of a spray that I bought.
Behind you.
Which seems to work like okay. Let me see. There we go. Kurtz. It's been okay. And basically I just put like a spritz of this on a little like sponge pad and kind of wipe them off. It's good for, tend to do that with cards I'm going to set into the PSA to try to get rid of like fingerprints, dust, little residue or anything like that. I actually had a what's it called? I had a Team Aqua's Kyogre from the original set that I bought, or the original collection that I bought, that I cleaned up a little bit, and we'll see how that does. I was considering, wouldn't the fairy cards be worth the most, or because it's out of play from the card game, they're not worth much? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check. Super Potion card cleaner. I've heard about that actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because the Kurt stuff is like okay. It's not amazing. I don't know that I recommend it, but I have heard about the Super Potion. So I will probably check that out once I run out of the Kurtz. Yeah, I'm not sure on the fairy energy. I'm just gonna have to check on that. And like you said, they are out of print, which on one hand might make them worth more, but on the other hand, they don't get played in the normal TCG anymore. So I guess the only chance is like,
And a friend who's getting married for the second time.
I guess if people play like Expanded, I think it's called, which is the one where it uses like older cards, or maybe Gym Leader Challenge.
So she got herself a black
I think Gym Leader Challenge is another format that's kind of like EDH or Highlander in Magic, where you can only use like one of a card or something, or maybe you can only use one type. I'm not actually exactly sure.
And I fell because peer pressure from his mom and my sister. Two people I don't speak to anymore.
Colorless energy. I remember when this was like super broken in the original card game. Double colorless energy. I remember charging up a Scyther with this and attacking on turn 2. And that was like a huge deal back in the day.
I'm sure you were a beautiful bride. I see a picture. You were.
Yeah. Didn't feel like my day. You know what I mean? It felt like my mom.
Do you, Pro Snip, do you use the super potion yourself? Like, do you grade cards or do you just clean them for yourself? Or
People that are like normal and respectful, and I regard as my friends at this point. I make them follow me over on Instagram. And I'm in this one said, "Hey, beautiful." I just sent him this back. Like, first of all, you're not gonna address me like that. Playing sense is cats. I'm like, what are their names and what are their crimes?
Oh, you heard it's really good. Yeah.
Said Milo and Fiora. Milo's guilty of assault. Fiora's guilty of class.
Yeah, I've heard about it too. So I'm probably gonna have to
It's always the girl.
give it a look.
You know, sometimes I think like small
Yeah,
nails,
hit
like,
fates.
they're too short. I can't have skinny nails because they're not long, blah blah blah. But when you do this, my nails look longer. They look brighter.
Got a little bit of something on it, so I'll set that aside.
Having your nails done, it's just it makes the moment. Next.
Fairy energy. A lot of bulk here.
I want to get
I have like a whole other box too from the other collection that I bought. That's a pretty awesome Wigglytuff art. That's funny. Like I said earlier, it is nice to kind of appreciate some of just the regular card arts. I feel like they get overlooked a lot. Unless like there's people that collect that specific Pokemon. Like for I'm actually working on a Tyranitar Master set. So eventually I'm working on getting all the Larvatars, all the Pupitars. My wife says that Tyranitar is a bug and I just can't handle it.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You have a Larvitar
larval
stage.
stage and pupa. I know. When you said that to me, I died inside a little bit when you brought the facts. We got, how much do you love Pokemon? What's your how much do I love Pokemon? I have loved Pokemon my entire life, actually. And it wasn't until recent years where I just decided to really embrace it, because who cares? Yeah, I have an amazing supportive wife.
And
community. And like, who cares, right? Like, for the longest time, you think it's like nerdy or whatever. But like, if you have fun doing it, then just do it.
I mean, like,
Life's too short to care about any of that type of stuff. So
I think at this point, run with 80% things for adults to build and display rather than
Yeah.
play with. I
so
had a quick conversation with Joe the day they released it.
and then what's my favorite cat's name? Like cat Pokemon?
No, I was making a joke because like you love Pokemon so much. What's your one cat's name?
Oh, Blitzel.
Oh, Blitzel, yeah. Yes, we did name. So I wanted to name our two cats Sprig and Tito, but
That would have been perfect.
that got shot down,
I like
unfortunately.
alliteration, all right?
At the time, we didn't want. They're both female, and we didn't want one of them to be named Tito because we felt that'd be weird. But in hindsight, the way that she acts,
She's a Tito.
Tito would have been perfect. So naming our cats Sprig and Tito would have been epic, but alas, it wasn't meant to be.
Alas.
So now we have Blitzel and Binks, which is fine too. What we got going on here? Love how being a nerd was a bad thing, and now being a nerd today is the greatest thing ever. I'm a nerd and I'm proud. Heck yeah, Tom. That's right. Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I was a very closeted nerd. I actually kept it from my wife for like the first year that we were together. Granted, that was like 20 years ago.
20 years ago this year,
20
baby.
years ago, baby. But yeah, it just feels so much better, like embracing it, right? And then you find other people that like it too, and then you just have fun. Like, who cares if people want to hate? If people want to hate, then let them. That's a thing people say, right?
Yeah, we don't use it anymore because we don't rock it.
We don't use it anymore.
We do, but we don't like the creator of them.
Oh.
It's fine.
I tell all my single friends to try a nerd. Yeah, we're just better people.
Facts.
I mean, it's just true. Like,
There's definitely bad apples.
yeah. I mean, there's bad apples in any group, but I think on average, like,
Real nerds are.
yeah, because we can be interested in things besides ourselves, right?
Snap.
Crackle and pop.
Is that the revelation?
Those characters.
That's a hot take.
are one of my friends. Hear me out. The snap
To do what with?
All right. I don't know if there's anybody new here, but welcome to the Sand Stream.
Sand Street?
If anybody knows why we're calling it that, you get bonus points. A little bit of a deep cut, but I'd be impressed. You'll always know where to find a nerd, always at home enjoying their hobbies. Exactly.
Is that why my
Exactly.
single friends could never meet one?
It could be. You got to find them in their habitat. You got to brave the local game store.
Can you like, yeah, be gay about it?
Um,
Not that hard. You don't have to.
You want the sachet?
but yeah, exactly. Like, and even before, I mean, like I said, I've loved Pokemon my entire life, but even prior to that too. Well, not prior to that, but during that time where I was taking a little bit of a public hiatus, I guess you would say, from Pokemon, I was still playing video games and playing tabletop games like Warhammer, all kinds of stuff like that. So have no time to go out and party. Who needs to go out and party? You can just party at home.
I'm getting 60 seconds of hurts.
Yeah, true. I did meet it, but that's when I was a closet nerd.
Closet nerd, yeah.
So, but that's okay. Eventually, the truth came out,
And I love it.
and you love it. You've grown to love it.
You made me into a nerd.
She has
That's
a
true.
Pokemon tattoo.
She has a Pokemon tattoo. She plays D&D. We watch Lord of the Rings, which is what we're gonna do for my birthday, and I'm super excited. She's cooking me all kinds of food.
She's getting breakfast.
Can't
second
beat
breakfast,
it.
Lunch,
Yeah.
afternoon tea, supper, dinner.
Supper.
She's getting all of it.
I'm getting breakfast. Second
And you're gonna wear
breakfast.
Your,
11s.
Elevensies. Afternoon tea.
Yeah, the beard stays on.
Are you starting with the Hobbit and working your way up?
No, we're only doing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, only Lord of the Rings.
For my birthday, we'll do Hobbit.
Because we have to fit it in one day. I mean, That's already like 11 hours of cinema, so be tough to watch The Hobbit too. Oh no, I'm new into the whole cards for Pokemon. I only played the Game Boy Advance games up to Emerald, then stopped. So for me now, looking at the cards, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. That is true. I mean, if you take a little while of a hiatus, it's gonna be tough. And now there's like 1,000 some Pokemon, so yeah, that's a lot. Basically, I was on hiatus from the games after Gen 2 for a while. We moved around a lot, switching schools, all that fun stuff. Try and like kind of grew out of it a little bit when I was in my teens. And then came back, I don't even know when exactly, probably somewhere around 18 or 20. And then I went back and bought a DS and played what was the first one I played when I got back? I think it was Diamond and Pearl. And then I backtracked to Ruby and Sapphire. And then jumped ahead to Black and White, I think came out at that time. Some time frame like that. So I kind of jumped around a little bit, but eventually did get to play all of the generations. And then after I got back on track with Black and White, and then I played X and Y and Sun and Moon and so on and so forth. And I do play all of them still. So I actually really enjoyed Scarlet and Violet. I know it was a little controversial with all the bugs and technical difficulties and such, but I had a lot of fun with it. I liked the open world. Could it be better? Of course. I would have liked for the gyms to be like scaling difficulty versus all the same. Sorry if I'm spoiling anything and you haven't played them yet, but I would recommend them. They were fun, and I got to play them with one of my longtime like friends who came over and stayed, and we played it together. So that kind of added to the made it like a little bit nostalgic for me almost. So I just have fond memories of Gen 9. That sounds like an epic time. It is going to be epic. The Lord of the Rings marathon with all of the food is going to be a great time. So I will not be at work that day, Tom. I'm requesting off, LOL, for my birthday and the day after. So luckily it's a Wednesday, Thursday, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, 1,025 Pokemon is today. That's crazy. I guess because they added some for the DLC too. I think Scarlet and Violet crossed the 1,000 mark, and then they added a couple more for the DLCs and stuff. Yeah, wouldn't work my birthday either. Normally I do. Or I like work in the morning and then come home and do whatever. But this will be I think the first year in a while that I'm actually taking off for my birthday. Because we gotta have our Lord of the Rings marathon.
You put her on camera.
No, I don't have cards. And she's hungry.
Whoa.
It's Miss Blitzel.
Oh, that was Blitz?
Yep.
Should, well, be a little tough, but yeah, that's important. We don't want that. Do not want the wife to kill you. That Blitz?
That was Blitz, yeah.
That was Blitzel.
It feels a little tacky. Should have been it longer.
Yeah, it's also funny because
That wasn't the top coat. It's supposed to be tacky.
Blitzel is like a super fast electric zebra, so it definitely doesn't fit her at all either. But
That's why it's funny.
that's why it's funny.
Is that one that was supposed to be Tito?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, Blitz was going to be
She's
Tito,
100% Tito.
and now it would have fit. Oh, look at that, a Larvitar. Nice. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Let's set these aside for myself.
There's like 4 of them?
2.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll have to check them against the condition of the ones that I have in my T-Tar Master set. Oh, speaking of Detective Pikachu, here's at least a Morlul from that. It's cool that they made like the commons hollow. Is there only 18 cards in this? Huh. Was there packs of Detective Pikachu? That's kind of weird. There's only 18 cards in there. Oh, Jigglypuff. That's cool. I really like the realistic take on the Pokemon, except for maybe Mr. Mime. That's a little creepy, but Mr. Mime's creepy anyway, so what are you going to do? Reverse Hollow. Just set that aside. Snarf. Is that like, what was that? Sidekick to like Lion-O from Thundercats. Is that what that is? Snarf?
Yes. He was like the Hobbit. Of that
Snarf?
world.
A
Snarf?
single words that I did not understand.
He was like the Hobbit of that world.
The Hobbit.
Snarf.
Snarf?
I thought that was what are those blue men called?
Smurfs?
Yeah, those Smurfs.
So there was this snorkels or something too.
Yeah, there
Snorfs.
was packs. It came in a 3-pack set and a lunchbox that had packs. Oh, so did the packs? It was only an 18 card set though. Were the packs? Was it like 3-card packs? Because they do that. I think they did that with like celebrations. I'm not sure. Which that's going to be interesting to see. We got the 30th anniversary coming up, and that is going to be hyped. Just that for even that product that they showed that I am super excited about, where it's like little packs of the original, or not. I guess they're doing all the starters, but those are going to be sick.
Something.
Cannot wait for those.
They look fine, so alright.
Snarf was from Thundercats. Yeah, I thought so. I just remember, like, I just remember
Whoa.
there's like a clip or a GIF, like a super old one, where it just had this like weird cat-looking thing that was just like Snarf, Snarf, Corp, Corp,
Or?
Corp.
Or?
I love Magikarp. We got a pile here. All right. Where did that go? Lost Thunder. There we go. Back on track. I don't know what that is. Steam Siege, maybe? I don't know if there's anybody new here, but welcome to the Sandstream. Still waiting. If anybody knows why I would call my stream the Sandstream, I'd be very impressed.
No idea.
No idea. Somebody's got to know. But I'm coining the term. It's too nerdy for you. There are hints on screen as to why my stream is the Sandstream.
That extra large pile of cards right there in front of you.
What, this?
Yeah.
No. It'd be sweet if Sandstorm was not copyrighted and I could play it. That'd be exciting. You'd think after, is it just like after a certain amount of time stuff isn't copyrighted anymore?
No.
No, it's just always copyrighted. But then like you can just watch it on YouTube. So how is it copyrighted? If you can just go and watch it for free.
You can probably have copyrighted music on in the background. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I will have to check into that.
Do it and find out.
I wouldn't want to do it and then get the video taken down, you know, for having copyrighted music.
What?
You say weak? You're weak.
You got a Sappho.
You got here. Example, they have listing for $1,000 for my cards for all 300. How are you pricing it if it's a parking lot deal? They have a listing. Do you... I'm not understanding the question, ProSnip. Basically, basically what I would say as a baseline, I think at this point in the hobby, offering like 70% of market value is pretty standard as like a baseline. So I'd probably go with that. Like, depending on what it is, of course. If it's like prismatic ETVs, maybe 75. But you got to consider, like, A, you're taking on a lot of risk by buying stuff because you don't know how long it's going to sit. Prices can fluctuate. You know, it can go up, it can go down though at the same time, right? So you're taking on that risk. You have to move the stuff, like you have to list it, resell it. That takes work. You have to ship it, et cetera, et cetera. So like when you're buying a collection or sealed or whatever from somebody, like you got to factor that in. And if people aren't willing to kind of work with you in that way, then it's probably not worth it. And you should probably just find another deal. But if you're saying you have your stuff listed for 1,000, how are you pricing it if it's a parking lot deal? I mean, I would probably offer 700 in that case. Oh, the only part I don't know that I all came through then.
I don't think you're understanding his question.
Yeah.
Like, how do you price it if it's a parking lot deal without going through everything first?
Here we go. So when you go and buy someone's collection and they have a binder of 300 cards, for example, how do you offer them 70, 80%? Do you go through each one and look them up while you're at their place? Yes, that makes more sense. So currently, yes, that's what I've done. It's a little more time consuming. But as I'm just getting started and kind of just like looking to pick up collections, I'm doing a little more of the legwork. I could see in the future, let's say, for example, I have like people starting to come to me instead of me seeking out collections, and I need to save time. I would probably ask them to send me like a collector app listing. Sometimes collector can be a little inaccurate though. And I think TCG Player, you can build like collections on there. But yeah, I would probably be asking them to send me a collection of what they have versus me then trying to piece stuff out. But that being said, right now, currently, for the collections that I've bought, I've actually done the price research myself. One thing you could consider doing is like knocking off 50, or I guess it depends on how big the collection is, $50 to $100 maybe, just for your time for like doing that price research. Like maybe you take a little bit off of the offer that you give them to kind of compensate for your time. But then again, if the deal falls through, then you kind of wasted your time anyway. So yeah, that's probably what I would recommend. So it kind of depends on your scale and what you're looking to accomplish. But for right now, I am doing the price research and then making an offer. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. So you can only type a max of 200 characters per message. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Collector. Oh, that's an interesting little like print defect. Collector isn't always super accurate. I don't believe it doesn't update as regularly, so the prices can be a little off, but it's a good baseline. So if you don't have the time or the patience, even because it takes a decent amount of work to kind of go through and price everything out, then I would just ask for a collector. I would just ask for a collector list because that'll be an easy way. I mean, ultimately too, like you can It kind of depends. Like you can just kind of flip through a binder and usually tell like what's got a lot of value. So I've heard people that will just kind of like basically price out the value cards, like the cards that have real value, and then everything else they'll just kind of consider bulk. So that's a possibility too. Yeah, that's a good question because a lot of times like people just don't know what they should be doing, and I think that's probably why Facebook Marketplace is tough because people just send like, here's a picture of my closet, and it's just a mess, and there's just like random cards everywhere, and it's like, how the heck am I going to price this out? I think if it's something like that, you just like lowball it, and because like if if the person is going to just like send you a random picture, like how are you supposed to know what's in there, right? So just lowball it and go from there. And if they take it, then they take it. If not, then you move on to the next one. Chances are there's always another deal to be had. And actually, I think there's going to be, well, you would presume that eventually the market will like drop. It can't go up and to the right forever. So I think that'll actually create some interesting buying opportunities, because then when everybody's trying to cash out, that's when people are going to have to be like competing for price. Because right now, like you don't have to compete for price. It's not like everybody's trying to undercut everybody else because everything just has inherent like high value. But if the market starts moving the opposite direction, that's when people will kind of have to start potentially undercutting each other in order to sell their stuff. So that would be a good buying opportunity as well. So, if you're looking to get started in this, and you can kind of like set aside some money here and there for when that happens. Obviously, it's impossible to say when that will happen. It could be tomorrow. It could be a month from now. It could be 6 months from now. It could be 3 years from now. Who knows, right? That type of stuff is impossible. But yeah, if you can just kind of build up some extra cash to have for when the market does take a downturn, I think the buying opportunities during that time would be pretty great. That's where you might be able to get stuff for 60%, 50% of market, that kind of stuff, if you're buying locally still. So that would be my advice with that. I think I have to put a disclaimer in here that I am not a financial advisor, and this is not investing advice. Yeah, some team up stuff in here, which is really cool. Kind of jealous because team up was before my time back in the Pokemon card hobby. I hopped back in, what was it, like September or October of 2023? Must have been.
Yeah.
Whenever 151 came out is when, pretty much right when I got back in.
Of course, the last starter would be the best.
Yeah, 151 coming out was one of the catalysts for me getting back into the hobby, because I am a Gen 1er. Have you gone to any card shows to sell your cards? I have not. It's something that I will consider in the future, but I'm definitely not there yet. I'm still just trying to get my bearings with this, like managing this and doing the YouTube and all that fun stuff. But yeah, vending is something that's interesting. I don't know if I have the social battery for it, to be honest, because it's a lot. Like you're there for 8+ hours, no breaks,
Hard pass.
constant interaction with people. Like that'll be a lot.
The no breaks is what we're getting.
But I think it would be pretty exciting. And one thing too, like a benefit of it, like I watch DJ's Poke Center. I don't know if you've heard of his channel, but he does vending and stuff. And he just started vending. And he said it's a great way to get rid of like stuff that's a pain to ship, which makes sense. So, for example, like the Blooming Waters, the 151 Blooming Waters collection is kind of notorious for being terrible to ship just because of how gigantic it is. But that's something where like you bring it to a show and then you don't have to worry about the shipping, right? People just buy it there and that's that. Cut and dry. So that part kind of interested me a little bit. And they're like collection boxes and things like that are kind of in that same boat where it's like makes sense. Like those big gigantic boxes can be a pain to ship. So bringing those to a live show is a good way to kind of liquidate those. Oh, I love Sandy Guest. He's the first Sandy Guest we found. I don't know how I'm like remembering where I put each of these sets, but here we are. We persevere. What we got here? I can't stand people. Don't get me wrong. I don't socialize that way. I was interested in Seal to try to vend and make connections. Maybe start a business is my dream. Yeah. I can't stand 9-to-5 slave work. So yeah, ultimately that's kind of what I'm looking to grow this into, is to be long-term a sustainable business, ideally. Ultimately, like I work in retail, so it's not 9-to-5 necessarily. It's kind of all over the place. But I love Pokemon, right? So I would love to be able to do something Pokemon related, and be able to like support the family. So yeah, that is a dream. I don't know if I'd want a store, like a brick and mortar. Might just look. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Like 5 years ago, I wasn't expecting to be doing this now, so who knows what'll happen in the next 5 years. But that'd be cool, you know. And I would say just start. That's like, if my biggest advice is just start. I know it's kind of cliche, but like I
think they thought
kind of put this off for a while, and I think I was just intimidated to do it, so I just kept kind of putting it off and procrastinating. But it turns out you just start, and then you just learn, and it's not going to be perfect when you start, but you just learn and you keep going and you get better every time. And you know, each sale that you make on eBay, you'll do better than the last one, and how you ship it and how you list stuff and how you make videos. Like you just constantly learning and growing. My work is 7 till 5. Yeah, that's brutal.
Did you have pictures of my nails on there? Because he might have been trying to show for something.
Probably.
Like my mom got her nails.
It's fine to go.
Yeah, was that 10-hour day? That's tough.
I think I have them blocked on my other account.
I feel your pain. I guess usually when people say like 9-to-5, that kind of means like during the week too. Do you have the weekends off, or is it kind of all over the place? Like working at retail, I'm working like random weekends and different stuff like that, but
all shiny again.
Just get it off the nails, 'cause it gets weird on the nail.
Man, I don't know how people like a rip and shipper. How are they doing that and still trying to like? They have all kinds of people in their chat, like trying to answer questions and stuff. I could see that being crazy. I'm like trying to figure this out. You get weekends off, but no holidays or sick days or overtime. Oh, geez. No overtime? How's that possible? You're working 7 to 5 with no overtime. Rough. Yeah, rip. I agree. Sorry to hear that.
Alright. Just move like slowly, but like that.
Like that.
Yep.
Weekends off is nice, but no overtime's kind of rough. Surprised.
It's a little boomerang.
Is that a? I guess that would be like a salary position, or do you just get? I guess I don't even know if like legally you can work more than 40 hours and not get paid overtime if you're an hourly employee.
Oh,
The best part of the
We get
I when I went in there last, I was like, can I just pay this? They looked at me crazy.
those places, Pepper and Blue, like a couple years ago, I got Jared
yeah. Another thing I have to look into is
just a foot massage with real
getting
massage.
a
And he was
camera
like,
set up like
I was foot in hand. That's all it was.
here,
He
so
was like,
I can work in front of it
"That's
too.
nice, man." But he went, he's like, "That
Because
was
this
the
setup,
best thing in the world.
it's
It's
working,
just
I guess,
amazing."
but air quotes
So,
flat rate.
I would love like a reflexology.
Interesting.
Put your foot like you will pee now.
Nope.
Yeah, that is tough. So, it's actually funny.
When you
Brian
post
at
that stuff,
PokeNE just put out a video
it's like pretty
a couple days ago
fart, like, I
about
love it. It's
like
yeah.
what drove him to create his business, and it was just like he just hated his job and his life, and he was miserable.
Thank you so much.
And that's what kind of pushed him, gave him the drive to do something about it. So it is a powerful
I'm gonna try to be
motivator.
like-
So
So, can you just hand me this until all my sisters see it, and then they tell me, oh, look at Katie being all feminine.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend
Literary experiment.
just giving this a shot.
I will like I'll take anybody at this point. So
I'll
if you
send
want-
Jared over next.
I'll do his nails. Your boys have really good like nail beds to do it.
And yeah, like I said, bye. Like I said, just start, and I mean you don't have to like start YouTube right away unless you want to. It might not hurt, but just start and start selling stuff on eBay if you want to go that route. I think if you want to do bulk business, again, it depends on how much time you have too, because bulk is very profitable from a margin standpoint, but it's extremely time consuming. So you kind of have to weigh your options with that. You miss, absolutely. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So worst case scenario, you try and it doesn't work out, but at least you tried. But yeah, I think you can find a lot of success in this, doing this. I mean, I started this just last year, and it did pretty like better than I was expecting. It's not crazy or anything, but ultimately I kind of got started by selling off a booster box of Fusion Strike that I had been sitting on for a little bit while Sword and Shield was going crazy last year, like May or so, last summer. I just took that money and injected it into buying a couple collections and just kind of snowballed from there. So If you have like, I would say $100, $200, $300 or so that you can spare and invest in yourself, then you can definitely get something going off the ground. A lot of the biggest uh, people in the hobby, that's how they started, you know? If I could see my YouTube hours, I have over 50,000. I spend a lot of time. Is that watching or do you have a YouTube channel? um, yeah. So, well, yeah, in that case, I mean, if you're interested in bulk, like I said, that's very profitable. If you were gonna go that route, I'd probably recommend TCG Player to start, only because you'll be able to sell through stuff quicker. Now that being said, I have no experience selling on TCG Player, so I don't know like the back end, and I don't know how the shipping works, and I like all that kind of stuff. But what I do know is it can be a little tough to resell bulk on eBay as like singles. Like that's just not going to work that well. They're not going to move that quick because eBay's floor price is $1. So like just as an example, right? We take this Archeops card. This might not be a great example because it is a rare. I just noticed from Unified Minds. So let's go with Orangaroo instead, right? Let's say this card is 10 cents. If you're going to list this on eBay as a single, you have to list it as $1. Very unlikely that people are going to pay $1 for a 10-cent card unless they like love Orangaroo and they're trying to collect them. Whereas on TCG Player, let's say you bought this card for a penny, because that's typically how like bulk buying goes. You would just offer people like a penny a card, maybe two cents a card, 3 cents a card, depending on the set, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, if you paid a penny for this and then you can sell it for 10 cents, doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's a you 10x'd your investment, right? So like the margins on bulk can be pretty big, even if you're just selling them on TCG Player for their normal market value. But it is time consuming. So that's what that goes back to. And if you're hanging out and just kind of like watching YouTube and stuff, you can be sorting bulk in the background, right? Or, or sorting bulk and listening to or watching YouTube in the background, if that's something that works for you. So that's definitely an avenue that you can go. You can try to buy sealed collections. I know you had mentioned that earlier. So um, trying to pick up those and flip them is a possibility. Singles collections, of course, that's kind of my primary business model at this point. And then when I buy out collections, I'll also sift through them for cards that I feel I can grade to make a little bit of extra money. So I've done that with pretty much all of the collections I bought. I got a couple on eBay last year that I sifted through and sent off some cards for grading and did pretty well on. And then the couple the one I bought in December, and then this one here that I picked up in, I think it was like January. Um, Sifted through those and sent those off for grading as well. And then I also know, me personally, I just go through GameStop. I know kind of GameStop has a lot of controversy and stuff too, but at the end of the day, it just kind of works out better for my current business because it's just a lot cheaper. In order to send cards into PSA, you have to have a PSA membership, which costs, I think, like $150 a year or something like that. Obviously, with GameStop, you don't have to do that because they have the contract. So you just go directly through them. If you happen to have a pro membership, which I do, it's like $25 a year. Um, then it's a little bit cheaper per card, which is great, and you get a discount on the shipping as well. And like the shipping to PSA can be kind of crazy because you have to pay to ship to PSA, and then the return shipping has to have insurance because of how expensive the contents are. So like you're probably looking at $50+ for shipping to go to PSA. So I go through GameStop personally, and it's worked out decently well. I haven't had any real issues. I know, people say like, how can you trust a random GameStop employee with your cards? I mean, me personally, I had a decent, I got to know the people that were at my local GameStop. That one actually closed, unfortunately, like a month ago. But the manager that was there transferred to a new store. So I still am able to kind of go through them. So I have still that little bit of extra confidence that I'm not, nothing's going to happen to the cards, right? Because I've done this multiple times. I sent off cards that were worth a couple $100 and nothing happened to them. So, I feel relatively comfortable going through them. So that's what I do. And it just works out well. You could buy, you can get some pretty big markups on graded cards sometimes. So it tends to work out pretty well.
And I'll pop back in.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thanks.
You're doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Doing amazing. Yeah, it all kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier too, with like doing things like it's important when you're first starting to kind of like squeeze out as much extra cash as you can, and grading is a good way to do that because you're just selling the stuff for more than what you got it for, basically, like even more in theory. And again, there is risk involved with grading, of course. Cards might not come back how you expected, or whatever the case might be. There's obviously risk with grading. So I don't know. We need to make a new pile. This is getting huge. A lot of unified minds in this bulk collection here. Yeah. So I don't know if there is anybody new in the chat, but welcome to the Sand Stream. If you have any questions, drop them down in the chat, and I will do my best to get to them. Still this is my first ever live stream of anything. So I am doing my best to figure things out. Just kind of hanging out, sorting some bulk. I just hit 50 subs over the weekend. And it's kind of insane. Like, it just ballooned. I think I'm a little over 100 now. I don't know where that came from, but thank you all. And yeah, I was able to go live. So I figured, why not? If I'm just going to be hanging out, sorting cards, might as well go live and talk to some people if anybody wants to come in and ask me some questions. As a pretty much brand new TCG eBay reseller, I'm happy to share any wisdom that I've learned over the last year. More than happy to share. So feel free to ask me anything. It doesn't even have to be card related if you don't want it to be. I'll do my best to answer just about anything. So you just ask to keep it family friendly here on the channel. It is my only ask. And I do think I'm going to have to make a new pile of unified minds. Let's see. Got that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that away real quick. Take out these. yeah, this has been pretty fun so far. Just kind of hanging out, chatting a little bit. It's interesting too. Well, I guess it kind of worked out anyway. I was gonna say, I thought this would have had to have been in a landscape, but just getting set up in the beginning was interesting. I think this is going to get automatically uploaded onto YouTube, so it'll be interesting to go back and rewatch this later on and see. All right, back on track. Got more space for unified minds. It's a cool Dratini. Yeah, like I said, I have a whole other box of this too from the first collection that I picked up. Which, interestingly enough, was also mostly Sun and Moon XY. So, well, if you're going to do YouTube, get a Discord as well if you don't already have that. Yeah, that is a great idea. I don't have a what's it called? A server. I don't have a Discord server. But yeah, I probably should look into that as well. I'm on Discord all the time. Just for like other gaming, because I do a lot of tabletop gaming. At my LGS, currently I play Blood Bowl. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's been pretty fun. So I probably should get a Discord server. Just kind of, because that would be honestly the best way to like contact me in the future. You know, because like really the goal of YouTube is to kind of get exposure, kind of get my face out there. People can kind of get to know me a little bit, ideally, and then ultimately you're looking for people to like sell you their collections. So Discord really is like the best way to reach me, because I do have an Instagram, but my wife runs that for me. So like it's just not like a direct message, whereas Discord, like I'm actually on Discord all the time on my phone. So like DMs on Discord I will get almost immediately. So as of right now, you would just have to like send me a direct message on Discord, which I do put my Discord down in like the description of my videos for people to reach out, but it's not as convenient as just being able to like click on a server link. So yeah, you can make one for free. That is fascinating. I assumed it would cost money to have a server. So if it's free, I definitely should look into that. I guess I'd have to moderate it, which is fun because I know they get invaded by bots and stuff. So, but it's just another part of the learning curve of doing all of this. What is that? Little Gastrodon. I like how Gastrodon always has like both of them in it. It's cute. Yeah, I will definitely have to look into Discord. That's a great shout. Just having a server for people to go and hang out and talk about Pokemon. Plus, that would be another avenue for people to go in to like contact me to sell stuff potentially. They're free. Like when you get bigger, you can have paid features, but it's not necessary. Yeah. Good to know. Yeah, for some reason I just assumed it would have like a, like a yearly fee or whatever. But That is good to know that you can have a Discord server for free. That's interesting. Even if it would only be like $5, yeah, I mean, obviously still worth it. I'm gonna have to look into like a scanner service too, eventually here. That's another goal, is to get a card scanner sometime soon, just to be able to list cards more efficiently on eBay. Because like taking pictures manually is a little time consuming as well. All unified minds. Discord's free if you already have it. You hit the plus icon or whatever, all free. I had one when I used to stream. I still do, but it's abandoned. Huh. Yeah, honestly, I might look into that this weekend. Took off work for the weekend in order to just try to get caught up on side business stuff. I have a commission that is long overdue. Luckily, my client has been understanding, and he's not in a rush, so that's always great. But yeah, I want to get that finished this weekend, and then my goal was to kind of get the rest of like random cards and stuff. Like I just have like random stuff that I need to list. I just have piles and piles of stuff like this. The goal for the weekend was to get everything listed that I have currently. So those are the two goals for this weekend. Took off work to do more work, but at least this is Pokemon cards, which is fun. Yeah, it'll be nice once I finish that commission. And it's not kind of like hanging over my shoulders anymore. What do we got? Moose. What's up, Moose? Fairy types. Stack all fairy types. There's a big stack of fairy type energy. I don't think there hasn't been a ton of fairy type Pokemon here. There's a couple. Oh, wait. Are you talking about the Klefki, maybe? No, so basically I'm sorting Klefki's on top as the fairy type. I've been sorting these by set for now, is how I'm doing it. So they're all kind of mixed types in these stacks. Hey, Johnny Rocket. Welcome to the Sandstream. If anybody can guess why I'm calling my stream the Sandstream, bonus points. Nobody's been able to guess yet. I will say my favorite Pokemon is Tyranitar, if that wasn't evident. And that is a clue as to why this is the Sandstream. That's what I'm coining. So you add a Starmie. I'm guessing it's a mix. Yeah. Oh, here? Yeah. Somewhere around here. Yeah. So all the stacks are mixed as far as types go. I'm just separating them into the set that they belong to for now. So I figure basically what I'm going to do is separate them into the set, and then I'll go on the TCG player, search that set, sort it by price, high to low, and then I can see like where the cutoff is for cards that actually have some value that would be worth listing on my eBay store separately. Oh, Moose. I got something for you, buddy. Hold on. Where'd it go? That little felt gibble. I'll bring that into work on Monday. If I remember, because I know my memory is pretty bad. A lot of times I say I'll bring I'll bring that for you, and then I forget. But yeah, that's all yours, buddy. So sorting without a tray is rough. Did that for a while, but I'll never go back. Yeah, that's a good call. I didn't really consider that. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I'm streaming ever on anything. I'm not a big, never was a big social media person, but here I am now. But yeah, getting a tray, that is a great call. I got to get one of those. They're probably pretty cheap. I'm sure you can get them like 3D printed or whatever. So definitely we'll have to look into that for the future. That is a great call. This is actually the first time I'm kind of sorting bulk this too. So that is great advice. Thank you.
You want this? The rest of it?
Sure.
Wet your whistle.
Yeah, that probably helped. Thank you.
Okay.
A little special delivery, some boba tea. Yeah, Johnny, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I hadn't even considered it. But yeah, I'll definitely have to pick one of those up. I assume it would probably be only like $10 or so, right? If it's just like plastic. I would guess. We got here, I guess, Ancient Origins. A lot of cool stuff. I know Pokevault always jokes about this Paris. Got mine for $15. Yeah. Yep. I will definitely have to snatch one of those. I don't intend to do a ton of bulk, but it will definitely be handy, especially for only $15. Yeah, I think my main goal is to focus on like just buying out collections of, you know, decently valued cards versus a ton of bulk. But if there's going to be bulk in a collection, I'll pretty much always take it. So we'll see how things go. And I think with modern bulk, I wouldn't bother sorting it by set like this. My plan is to just kind of repack it and sell it as bulk lots with like some hollows and an EX and see if that works for modern stuff. But the reason I'm doing this, I'm sorting this, is because this is like Sun Moon XY bulk. So there might be a little bit of value in here that I can squeeze out. And as I was telling people like earlier in the stream, that when you're kind of just starting out, I do think it's important to kind of squeeze out like every dollar you can, kind of. So yeah, if I'm just hanging out here on this random Thursday evening, chatting with some people and sorting some bulk. Normally I'd have some music playing, but I haven't advanced. I'm not technologically advanced enough to figure that out yet. So maybe on the next one we'll have some music in the background, and then it's just a matter of figuring out how copyrights work and stuff. So don't want to get the video taken down or getting any kind of, you know, issue with that. So yeah, I'd love to just have some like Pokemon lo-fi just kind of playing in the background, chill vibes, sorting cards, chatting a little bit. I was saying earlier, I have no idea how streamers like Rip and Chippers can focus on that and the chat at the same time. I'm like struggling, and I've only got a couple people here that I'm talking to, and it's kind of crazy. They have like 100, 200 people in their chat. How can they keep up with that while also focusing on doing something else? That's nuts. But I guess that's another skill set you kind of develop over time. So we'll see. We shall see. So on eBay, when you have a listing up, how are you sending it to whoever buys it? How does that work? I don't have an eBay account yet. Tell you their address and you send it. Yeah, so basically with eBay, they take care of a lot of that on the back end. In order to have an eBay account, I believe it's been a while since I signed up for mine because I had it even prior to selling stuff. But I think you have to have an address associated with the eBay account in order to buy things or sell things. So like once the deal goes through, if it's buy now or auction or whatever, once the sale ends, um, you get notified that somebody bought your item, and then you can buy the shipping directly from eBay, which is great. You actually save a little bit of money that way. I have a thermal printer that I use to print out the labels, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward actually. I'm like very boomerish when it comes to technology and stuff, and I was able to figure it out. Um, so, maybe, well, I guess it would be tough to do like a tutorial without doxing people and stuff, but um, yeah, it is relatively straightforward. Like eBay sends you the address and you just you know, print the label out and you're good to go. You should play the Lavender Town theme with the binaural beats. I love the Lavender Town theme. Um, that's one of my favorites, honestly. So I would definitely be down for that. If you want music, open a second window on YouTube and type no copyright music and press play. Yeah, I'm wondering if I could. I don't know if I can do that since I'm streaming from my phone. Is the challenge because I don't actually have like a computer set up yet. So I'm basically doing everything from my phone, making videos, streaming this, do all my eBay from my phone. Yeah, everything is done from my phone. So I don't know if I'd be able to stream on my phone and have a window open for music at the same time, but I will have to look into it. I deal with a ton of bulk for my Pokédex binder and master sets. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I definitely see that. I actually sell 151 master sets, like at the like no illustration rares, no promos, no SIRs. I sell those on my eBay store as all the 165 like core cards plus all reverse hollows and regular EXs as like a bulk like thing on my eBay store. And the reason I've been pretty successful with it, and I think the reason is that collecting master sets can kind of be a pain. So going to be able to just buy all the regular cards in one shot instead of having to like order them from a bunch of different people, get all that shipping. You have to track all that shipping, hope that it comes in good condition. Like it's kind of a pain, So, and I did it with 151 because I just think that's like it's a win no matter what. I think it's just going to be one of the most probably master setted sets of all time, probably. It has all of the original 151 Pokemon in it. I think it's the only set in existence that has done that. I don't think there's any other set that has like all of the OGs in it. So yeah, that's been pretty great. But yeah, I could see I personally have a master set of 151, and that is the only set that I've master setted. And even that was like annoying. I mean, if I didn't love the original 151 Pokemon as much as I do, it would have been even more annoying. But it made it little bit more bearable that it was, some of my favorites in there. So one thing I'm kind of like, I hope we get a Gen 2 set like that, That's kind of what I'm hoping for. One thing I'm like salty about is that black bolt and white flare got like illustration rares and SIRs for every Pokemon. I'm like, why didn't you do this for 151? It would have been crazy if they made illustration rares and SIRs for every Gen 1 Pokemon in 151 set. That would have been nuts. And even with what we did get, I feel like they kind of missed the boat on like a Gengar SIR, Dragonite, like some questionable things on there as to why they didn't like have just a couple more SIRs in there, especially Gengar. I'm kind of amazed. Oh no. Sorry. I hit the tripod that's holding up my phone. I gotta grab another box of bulk real quick. Ugh, shuffling things around. Let's see. All right. And we're back. So let's see. Try not to hit the tripod this time. All right, we're back. Let's see here. Are these going to be the same sets? Oh boy, these are different sets. Well, that's awkward. Running out of room. I need that sorter you were talking about. What is this? Breakpoint? Yeah, these are like all different sets. Oh, geez. There. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think these might be Breakpoint. I'm not really sure. I was not around during the XY Sun Moon era, unfortunately, for the cards. I did play the video games, but I was not collecting cards at this time. So I'm still kind of learning. I mean, the nice part about like both of these collections I picked up were pretty much all Sun Moon XY, which is nice because I've gotten a little bit of experience and exposure to them. Kind of learning the set symbols, although not really, but actually I think I can put, I don't think there's team up in this collection. Yeah, like this whole stack is team up bulk. And just with how like wildly expensive team up is, there's a chance that some of these like bulk cards are just like, I don't know, 10 cents, 20 cents maybe. So we'll see. But I'll have to price those out a little bit later on. All right, there we go. All right. But yeah, feel free. Drop any questions for a basically brand new Pokemon TCG eBay reseller. Any questions you have down in the comments, I'll absolutely answer them. AMA, ask me whatever you want. Doesn't have to be Pokemon related. I just ask that you keep it PG, please. I'd like to have a family-friendly YouTube channel experience. And that's basically my only ask. Like this, I have no idea what set that is. No clue. Is that like Xerneas's antler or something? I have no clue. What set is the tall stack? Is that this one? This is Hidden Fates, I believe. It's like the 4 little stars. I'm pretty sure that's Hidden Fates. There were multiple like Hidden Legends, Shining Legends, Shining Fates, Hidden Fates. I think this is Hidden Fates. There's like a lot of different sets that are some combination of the words Hidden, Fates, and Shining. So I'm pretty sure that's Hidden Fates though. So that one I have no idea what that is over there. So we're just gonna put that there. Yeah, Breakpoint. Yeah, somebody else in the chat might know. I'm pretty sure it's Hidden Fates. Don't know what that is. These can go here, actually. Let's see. Well, since you read chat out loud, I need everyone to subscribe and chat. Man's got to grow his channel. Thank you. Pro tip. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I've been calling you Pro Snip this whole time. I think it's Pro Sniper now that I'm reading it. I apologize. Now that I read it a couple times. Yeah, I probably need to get better at that whole YouTube thing where I'm supposed to say like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, touch the things that make the dings, all that fun stuff. We're still learning, right? I only started YouTube in I started January 1st. I figured what better time than the brand new year, right? New Year's resolution, grow a YouTube channel. That's fun. Why not? But yeah, hit the like, hit the thumbs up. Welcome to the sand stream. Still waiting for an answer on that one. Why is this the sand stream? And why don't I have Darude Sandstorm playing in the background? That's the real question. I got some Steam Siege, Guardians Rising. That's a cool art. I love Komiya's art. Like, so unique, just kind of like surreal. Isn't Sandstream T-Tar's ability? Moose, my man. There it is. Yes. I was trying to figure out a clever name for the stream, and Sandstream is perfect. And it is because Sandstream is Tyranitar's ability. Thank you. Great job. I have tons of bulk, but barely any 151. How much do you think you could sell other base master sets for? That's tough. I don't have experience with it. And like part of the thing is like 151, like a lot of the reverse hollows at this point are like getting close to $1. Some of them are $2. Some of them are pushing $3 for just reverse hollows, right? Of a set that's like still in print, which is wild. I mean, as far as like other master sets, I don't know. Because 151's not a huge set either. So you figure if there's a set that's like, 400 cards when you're counting all reverse hollows and everything, it is a lot of work, right? Like putting them together, ordering them, like a lot of work for you if you were doing it. Like you're the one sourcing everything, gathering everything. Oh, look at that. Moose. This is what you get for the Sandstream answer. I'll set that aside with the other one. Look, we're giving away prizes. Imagine that. But yeah, basically the other sets, like it depends on the size, because it is, like I said, it is a lot of work just setting all that stuff aside and like sleeving it, shipping it, et cetera, so maybe what would be good for you to do is figure out how much it costs to build the master set by buying the singles off of like TCG Player essentially, or if you have them already, just kind of piecing them out, and then figure out how long it takes you to do it, like how long it takes you to actually pull all the cards and set them aside into master sets, and then you just have to decide what you feel your time is worth, and then multiply that all out together and figure out a price to sell them for. That's kind of what I did for the 151 master sets. So most people get my name wrong. Only true OG gamers get it right. Guess you're an OG. Yeah. Pro Sniper. Yeah, I did not read, because in it, like YouTube names also just kind of have like a string of numbers after the name. So I just kind of read the 3 along with like the 794. So that's my bad. But after looking at it again, I realized that was an E. Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. Just kind of hanging out with me while I sort these cards. It's a lot more exciting than sitting here by myself doing it, so I appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate asking or answering questions. Hopefully some of the wisdom I've gained over the last year or so can help somebody or inspire somebody to give it a shot themselves, because like I said earlier, the most important thing is to just start, you know? Just get started. I have no idea what set that is either. Oh, is that? Nah, I was gonna say it's a heart, but I don't know what set that is. It's awkward. I'm getting like random one-offs of like cards from sets that don't fit into any of the stacks I have here. What's better, sorting bulk or doing inventory? I'm going to be honest. I didn't mind doing inventory. I know this is like a more retail work related question, but I didn't really mind doing inventory when I was a meat manager. So it didn't really bother me too much. But sorting bulk is enjoyable because I love Pokemon. And and especially because like I said, I didn't have like experience with these sets when they were like current. So it is fun to kind of go back through and like look at all the arts and like see all these cards, like these are cards I've never seen before, because a lot of times when you're looking at even like valuable cards from like older generations and stuff, like that's all you see. You don't really see like, random Binacle number 22 from whatever set this is. Like, so that's not really, and it's a Mia art too, right? That I never really knew existed. So that makes it exciting at least. So it's been a fun stream so far, very knowledgeable. I've been learning a lot. Good. I'm glad. Ultimately, goal for the channel is to document these early stages and keep it going, and hopefully it helps people, inspires people. That's really what I want to do. So and I try to be pretty transparent with everything, just so everybody, like other people, can learn. It's all about positivity and encouragement. Get out there and go for it. I imagine there's other people doing it on eBay. Could see what certain sets are selling for. What do you think would be the keywords to find them on eBay? I would probably just search master set, and then like whatever the set name is, for example, like Hidden Fates master set. Maybe just start with that and see if you get any hits, or whatever the set might be. If you're talking more like Scarlet Violet stuff, search, Paradox Rift master set, for example, and just see if you get any hits, and go from there. Because then, yeah, if you see what they're selling for, then you can kind of determine whether or not it'd be worth your time too. Because, like I said, it is a little time consuming, just kind of building those master sets, and it's a lot of storage too. You got to kind of keep them separate from like other bulk and stuff that you might have. So there's a lot that goes into it. We got here another random set that I have no idea what it's from. This is another one. This is a very popular artist. Is it Asaka Ito? Does like the felt. Like these are, I'm pretty sure it's actually like a like they make this out of felt and then take pictures of it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty popular artist that people collect. Like they'll just collect that artist's cards. We got this Ground Zero for the future T-Tar card shop. Yeah, somebody had asked earlier if, or was asked talking about card shopping. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. Like I said before, 5 years ago, I didn't picture myself sitting here, sorting Pokemon cards for my eBay store. So who knows what can happen? It's not necessarily a goal that I'm working towards, but if it makes sense and things work out, maybe could be exciting. Refine keywords. Use specific terms such as set name, complete master set, or set name, master set, full set to filter out partial sets. Yeah, that makes sense. Complete master set. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you want to sell to. Because like I said, for my 151 listing, I actually don't. It's not a. I don't know. Depends on your terminology for master set, because it's not technically a master set, but I'm very clear with that in description. I put 165/165, like 165 out of 165 of the base cards with reverse hollows is what I put in my listing. And then in the description, I'm very descriptive and very clear. It says there are no illustration rares and no special illustration rares and no promos in this set. So, because for like a quote unquote true master set, in theory, that would include like all the special, like fancy arts and everything. So you just got to be careful, I guess, with the description. So it depends on what you want to sell to. I mean, hey, if you want to collect, if you want to resell like full master sets of things, that can get pretty expensive, but they might sell a little bit better too, since it's like the full thing. Some of this bulk is not near mint, so I'm just kind of setting those off to the side. This little Piplup has looks like somebody took a bite out of the corner there. Primarina. I know Primarina doesn't get a lot of cards, so that's cool. Sometimes those, like, I guess that's Sun and Moon, I think, right? Poplio and Primarina. Honestly, I can't even remember the middle evolution. Brion, maybe? But yeah, keep the questions coming. If you got anything else, happy to answer it. AMA, ask me anything. Doesn't have to be Pokemon related. Just keep it PG. We got, I forget what set that is too. Unbroken Bonds, maybe? No, I don't think that's Unbroken Bonds. We got there. Bruxish. Where'd this go? I think this is Plasma Freeze, maybe? We got, so the bulk that's not near mint is used for toilet paper. Yeah, I mean that, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'll probably collect it and amass it over some time and then give it out for free to like a local kid or something. Yeah, unless it's like truly destroyed. But the ones that I'm setting aside aren't too bad. They'll just have like little dents or dings. Like this Binacle had like a little corner side ding right there. So, some kid will get enjoyment out of it, and then hopefully they grow up to love Pokemon too. It's always nice to kind of give back a little bit in that way, encourage kids to embrace their hobbies. That's pretty important. That's a rough paper cut. Yeah. Probably get some gnarly paper cuts handling all this bulk. I really like by the way, just the X and Y evolutions. I think that's what this is, right? I'm pretty sure XY evolutions, like they did the kind of the reprints of like the base set cards, basically. Love that. Brings me back to the schoolyard when I was like 10 years old. And that is why all those cards are so valuable. Because when everybody was just grinding them on the pavement in the schoolyard, nobody has near mint copies of first edition Charizards anymore, right? It is like really crazy to just think about how much that stuff is worth. Oh man, this is a rare from Breakpoint. This is like an example of where it's sad because it's like it's a rare, so there's a chance. I mean, there's a gold duck, which isn't the most popular thing, but then it's just got this like huge like ding and scratch in it. Sad day. I will say, Tom, that your collection was definitely in better condition than this one overall, even from the binder cards. So good job. What is that? That looks like that like clay artist, but I don't think it is. Sachiko Adachi. I don't think that's a cool art though. I don't know about that one. Currently playing Minecraft right now. The stream is boosting my productivity. Heck yeah. Happy to help. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with Minecraft, but whatever crafts you're mining, hopefully, the stream is empowering you to do it more efficiently. It's probably that type of game that I would enjoy. I could like sandboxy type games like that, but never got into it. What we got here? Muck and Grimer would be perfect cards for TP. That's hilarious. I think I saw like one Alolan Grimer earlier. I haven't seen any other ones in any of the cards I've been sorting here. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually there is just a toilet paper Pokemon. Because, I mean, for as much hate as some of the Gen 5 ones get, I actually really love Trubbish. And I don't know if it's Garbodor or Garbodor. Like odor, I don't know, but I actually really enjoy those. I like Trubbish. He's just a little bag of trash, you know, just a cute little guy. But yeah, some people just give them so much crap. Like, what do you mean? It's just a trash bag. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a little endearing, I guess. He's got some charm. Got to clean the sludge somehow. That's right. Yeah, I think in like actual Pokemon lore or the anime, I think that's what Grimers are, right? They're just like live in the sewers and clean up the trash and stuff. Moose, it's your lucky day. Look at all these Gibbles and Gabites we're finding. I'll add it to your pile for the sand stream. Bonus question. Wait, you don't want this Gibble? I know you weren't talking about this Gibble being trash. Going once, going twice. I'm just kidding. I'm putting it in your pile. I'll get it to you on Monday. We got here. Now, the Buzzwole. How does everybody feel about the Ultra Beasts? I personally, not a fan. But I don't know. They were just kind of weird. Their types didn't make any sense. Like, was it Nihilego is like rock poison, but it's a jellyfish? I don't understand. But they got to be somebody's favorite. Oh, wow. Look at that. 2 good bites. What do we think? Should we add one to Moose's pile? Yeah, why not? We're going to like double the size of his collection. Steam Siege. Oh, I don't know what set that is either. Furious Fists, maybe? I think. XY. Is that XY Furious Fists? Hariyama with the thick fat. The big boy. Man, another set I've noted. That is some weird Machop art. Kind of looks like scrunched. To set that one aside too. It's the first set symbol I've seen of that. If there's anybody new in the stream, welcome to the Sand Stream. T-Tar Collects here, sorting some bulk, hanging out. Feel free to drop any questions you might have down in the chat. AMA, I mean, obviously, new eBay seller, new-ish. Very brand new to streaming and YouTube. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have about business, Pokemon, me, whatever you got. I'm all ears. Oh. Huh. I don't know what's going on, but most of my comments aren't going through. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to troubleshoot that. Because like I said, I am brand new to this. Chat filter. I clicked on the settings thing and I don't see anything. It says I can chat filter. Show. Show all messages. So it was defaulted to top messages. It says show most messages with potential spam removed. I don't know why it would flag your stuff as spam. I just switched it to show all messages. So maybe that'll help. I'm not really sure. But yeah, if you want to give it another shot. Sorry about that, Johnny Rockets. As I continue on my journey, I will probably get better at streaming. But I do appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully your messages will go through now that I changed that. I don't know why it would have flagged them as spam. In case you missed my update, Trubbish and Garbodor are trash, literally. Yeah, but they're just lovable little guys. Who doesn't love a trash bag, you know? Like, I feel like he's so memeable too. Like, you know. Current mood, Trubbish. It'll be you on inventory morning, right? Just feeling bleh. Hey, it's Blitzel. That's the name of my cat. As it turns out, she does not really live up to her name very much. was saying earlier that I wanted to name our cats Sprig and Tito. They're both female. So that was vetoed. Thanks for hanging out, Pro Sniper. Thank you very much for hanging out and asking questions. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully I'll see you on the next time. Feel free to check out my videos too. I post relatively regularly, a couple times a week. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night. Yeah, I wanted to name our cats Sprig and Tito. But since they were both female, my wife didn't like the idea of having a female cat named Tito, which is fair. But in hindsight, with how she has grown and developed, Tito actually would have fit her pretty well. she's definitely a Tito. She's kind of like tomboyish. Sometimes I forget she's a female cat, just with some of the how she acts, their personality and stuff. So that was and our other cat, Binks, is absolutely could have been a Sprig. She is just like a wiry ball of energy. So Sprig would have been pretty fitting for her. Oh, another Camilla art. That's sweet. Camilla's art style is just so cool. It's so unique, like surreal and just awesome. This card's pretty beat up, but I'm probably gonna hold on to that one. It's probably only like a penny anyway. That's the other thing that's tough when you're trying to like resell cards is you have to try not to get super attached. Because you don't just want to like hold on to literally everything, you know? Gotta be willing to let some stuff go. All right. What's your plan with all that non-151 bulk that you don't think is worth selling? So, basically my plan with modern bulk that I'm accumulating is just going to be to repack into like randomized, probably 100 card bulk lots. I think I'm going to try something that's like 90 commons and uncommons, miscellaneous, 10 hollows, and then an EX card or a V, just like a bulk EX or V, and sell that for I think like $12, free shipping, that kind of stuff. Once I build the listing, I'll have it on my eBay store. So if you check it out, you'll be able to see what that's like. I think that's pretty standard. I've seen that from a couple different sellers and stuff. The reason so that won't really be sorted. I'm sorting this bulk because it's XY Sun Moon. So there's potential for like value there. And I think I'm just going to kind of hold on to it for now until I figure out what to do with it. Because I feel like a lot of this type of stuff, I could probably do something similar, but just charge a little more because a lot of these cards might be like more than 2 cents, 3 cents, which is what a lot of modern bulk cards are. So that's kind of my plan for that. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, 151 bulk is just special. Like it's just unlike anything else. So I think, and the crazy thing is 151 is still technically in print. I think once April hits and 151 rotates, at that point it's like super unlikely that it's going to get reprinted. I think the prices are just going to like skyrocket at that point. That's typically what happens with sets, and even like you look at the pattern for like sealed of that kind of stuff. Like once it rotates, you'll see a pretty big spike. And then it might dip a little bit, but then after that, it'll just kind of like gradually go up over time. So I would not be at all surprised if 151 bulk just kind of like goes off the charts over time. to the point where basic cards are like, 10 cents, 25 cents. And then some of the reverse hollow Gengar from 151, I think is already over $3, which is pretty crazy. So I think there's just a ton of potential there. I don't know if another Gibble. It's your lucky day, Moose. Set that one aside for you. I don't know if you have that one yet or not. Get. But yeah, Johnny Rocket. I think it's Andrew with Gem TCG actually made a video about doing that with bulk, where I think he does that same kind of idea. And I don't know of the exact price. It was like $11.99, $12.99, somewhere in that ballpark for 100 random bulk cards with like one EX basically. And he sells it for that with free shipping. And you end up making not a lot, but again, important to make every dollar you can when you're just trying to start out here on the grind. Just grinding. Late night bulk sorting. See, actually, are you, Johnny Rocket, are you like a reseller? Or you looking to get into it? Or what else we got? Meditate. Nose pass. That is a menacing art for nose pass. That's pretty epic. I'm pokey rich. Yeah, you're getting a lot of Gibbles. Starting off your collection right. Now you just need to get that Garchomp Giratina. Then you'll really be set. Here's more of them. That art is ridiculous. It looks like a horror movie. Like, what is that? Love it. More good bites. Sandy gas. Alrighty. Add. I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess another question, Johnny Rocket, is: are your messages coming through? Or are you still having that problem? Because I'm wondering if I'll have to troubleshoot that after the fact. Thanks for the likes. Welcome to the Sand Stream. I'm Ryan with T-Tar Collects. AMA, Ask Me Anything. Pokemon, business, myself. Just keep it PG, please. Family-friendly environment is my goal with this channel. So, first I need a car. Yeah, you're right, buddy. That would be helpful. Hopefully you get that sorted out soon. I know the weather is looking a little bit better in the coming, although we're going to get a little bit of snow, it looks like, again. But got some decent looking weather in the forecast, so hopefully you can go out and find a car, because you're currently a Housebound Moose, and that is not cool. If you were to choose a Pokemon to ride into battle that's not Tyranitar, who are you choosing? Huh. Mamoswine sounds like a pretty good option. It's the giant war mammoth that spits blizzards out of its mouth. Seems pretty epic. I always liked Mamoswine. Need more questions. The big elephant. I choose Caparaja. Caparaja would be your choice for riding into battle. But yeah, if there's anybody new in here, welcome to the Sand Stream. I'm looking to get into reselling. Figured I'd start with bulk since it's easy for me to get and I have a ton. Just figuring out where to start. Yeah, Johnny Rocket, 100%. I would recommend just start and figure it out as you go. You know, I know it can be intimidating. It was for me for sure when I started, and I'm by no means an expert or anything. I'm still learning and learning different things and doing different stuff every day. But yeah, just start an eBay channel. Well, actually, if you're doing bulk, I think I had mentioned this earlier. I don't know if you were here. I would probably recommend going the TCG player route for bulk because so eBay has a floor price of $1. So like for example, take this, random Flaffy from some set that I don't recognize. This is probably like a 5-cent card, right? So hypothetically, if you were to put this on eBay for $1, it's probably not really going to move. This one is like light play even. It's not even near mint. So like you're gonna have a tough time selling this on eBay as a single. Whereas on TCG Player, if you list this for 10 cents, 20 cents, whatever you want to set your floor to, and you bought it for a penny effectively if you're buying bulk, huge margin, right? It's just a little time consuming working with bulk, but it's definitely a place to start, and people make like you can really build it out into something. So yeah, I would recommend just start. I personally don't have any experience with TCG Player. I do everything through eBay currently, so I don't know like the ins and outs, but I have heard, and it makes sense that doing bulk on TCG Player makes a little more sense than trying to do it on eBay, unless you're going to do kind of what I'm thinking, whereas you just like repack it and sell it as like bulk lots. That might work on eBay, but you'll probably be able to move through it, but you're not going to have like the margins that you would if you're doing it on TCG Player, if that makes sense. So like TCG Player will be more work because you're piecing out and selling lots of volume of single bulk, but you'll make more money. You'll have higher profit margins. So that kind of depends on the time that you have, the effort you want to put in, which kind of go hand in hand a little bit. But yeah, that's probably what I recommend. Just get started, and I'd probably recommend looking into TCG Player if you're going to do bulk selling. Don Fan. Don Fan is another big elephant. But I'm like 99% sure she's talking about Caparaja, which we're not going to have an example of here because that came out in Sword and Shield. And this is all X, Y, and Sun and Moon. But yeah, Caparaja is basically like a giant metal steel type elephant. So I think it's kind of got like Indian type vibes, like the actual like India, the country. I think that's where the inspiration for Caparaja came from. Something like Raja might even be derived from the Indian language. Hey, what's up, Shane Martin? I've accumulated a lot of bulk over the last few weeks. What's the best way to divide different sets? Looking at the cards, I don't know the difference from Destined Rivals and something from 3 years ago. Okay, so let me see. So for modern cards, so Destined Rivals, modern cards is actually a little bit easier because in the bottom left here, you'll see where it says ASC. So every modern set has like a 3-letter abbreviation. Destined Rivals, for example, is going to be DRI. ASC here is Ascended Heroes, which is the set that just came out. So actually modern stuff is a little bit easier to sort by that. So you'd basically just go through and pull out all the cards with those same 3 letters and divide them. If you're looking at like older cards, like these yellow border cards, these are Sun Moon XY cards, it gets a little harder. Each one down the bottom right is still going to have a set symbol. So what I'm doing here is actually doing that. I'm dividing these out by set. Now, I'm not necessarily 100% familiar with what these sets are based on the set symbol, but you can still do it just based on that symbol, which still makes it pretty doable, even if you're not familiar with what the set is. Then you'd probably, from there, if you want to know what the set is, I would probably grab like a random Pokemon that probably doesn't have a ton of cards, like this Crabrawler, right? Probably not a super popular Pokemon. I mean, he's cool and all, but let's be honest, not the most popular. So grab this, go on TCG Player, search Crabrawler. There's probably not going to be that many cards that pop up. And then you can just match it up to figure out what that set symbol is. I think this is Burning Shadows, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's how you can kind of sort by set and then figure out like what set it is. Hopefully that helps. You are welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Pretty chill stream here. I'm going to coin the term sand stream. Welcome to the sand stream. Yeah, chill vibes. Eventually I'll learn how to get music going in the background because this is actually my first ever live stream on anything. I'm extremely new to social media. Very boomerish when it comes to social media and never really did anything. But yeah, I just made a YouTube channel on January 1st of this year, and I've been selling cards on eBay for about a year. I started in January of 2025, so got about a year of experience, so certainly plenty more to learn. But that's kind of the point, right? And hopefully the point of this channel is to document my journey. And hopefully teach people, inspire people, and help people get started on their own because it's a lot of fun. I love Pokemon. I have my entire life. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just love Pokemon. I could talk about it all day. And now I have an outlet to do that, which is exciting. So come along for the journey. But yeah, if you've gotten a lot of bulk over the last few weeks, I was actually just talking a little bit previously about it. Probably your best bet if you're looking to resell it would be a TCG Player. I think you're going to make a little more profit margin doing that. It's more work, a little more time consuming as you're selling, single bulk cards. But you'll probably end up making more money over time. So if you have the time to invest, that's what I would recommend. eBay, you could list the stuff on there, but it's just probably not going to sell very well. Now reverse hollows, on the other hand, tend to do okay on eBay. Because that's the kind of thing where people might just be like grabbing them for a master set, or maybe they just collect all the cards from, that specific Pokemon or whatever the case might be. So they're just looking for like reverse hollows of a little more niche Pokemon or cards. But yeah, just like random bulk cards might be tough to sell on eBay as singles. unless they have some value. And that kind of is just determined by the Pokemon themselves, sometimes the artist, sometimes the set, stuff like that. Doing amazing for your first stream. Wow. Thank you very much. That is great to hear. I'm glad like the sound is good, like the audio is coming through. Glad that we're having a good time. Yeah, it's been fun. Definitely more exciting than just kind of sitting here by myself, that's for sure. Got another Komiya art. Love to see it. Set that aside for myself. Sniping that one. That one has like a big scratch in it. Sun Moon base. Yeah, let's see. Meow.
Meow. What are you sorting them into?
The different sets. Like, yeah, just kind of sort them all out into different sets. Oh, where did that one go? There you go.
What's that? Fucking nose pass. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're killing me.
It was one curse. It's fine.
God.
You're fine.
Oh, this is why we can't have nice things.
Listen, I wasn't built family friendly.
Oh,
That's
crack me
all.
up.
Get out. Out of here. Come on. Go.
Violated my own rules. That art is crazy looking. I don't even know. That looks like Nintendo 64 graphics. Oh, and it's like beat up too. That's a shame. If you haven't already and like what you see, make sure to give the stream a thumbs up. Yes. Thank you. I forget to say it myself. And because I'm reading all the comments, it certainly helps to put that in there. So I say it out loud. Yeah, I appreciate that. Basically, I got to get better at the whole YouTube shtick, right? Like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the things that make the dings, bells, notifications, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'll probably, got a little bit more to go in this box, and then I might call it, I don't know what set that is. But yeah, if you got any other questions, just leave them down there in the chat. I'll definitely do my best to answer them with the experience that I've gained over the last year or so of doing this on eBay. Yeah, I just kind of figured I gained the ability to go live because go live on a phone at least. I guess I could have on a computer, but I don't have a computer set up at the moment. So I was able to go live on my phone, so I figured why not? Come hang out, sort some cards, answer some questions, hopefully help some people, give some advice. People are looking to get started in this space. I definitely encourage it. The most important thing is just getting started. Just start, and you'll figure it out as you go. You can make mistakes, learn from them, just do better the next time, right? That's kind of the goal. So the overall, I've been pretty successful on eBay. I think at the end of the day, the most important part is just like being accurate with your listings, being prompt with your shipping, taking care of people, focus on customer service aspect, because that's, I think, the benefit that eBay has over, say, like TCG Player. There's just a little more like interface with the buyer and the seller. You can message people directly on eBay, which is helpful for a lot of different things. But yeah, ultimately with eBay, you're kind of like selling a service more than TCG Player, I would say. So having some good customer service skills is always helpful as well with eBay selling. Out of the, I think I've sold a little over 400 items at this point. Haven't had too many issues, which is nice. I have pretty good feedback. Well, I have 100% positive feedback, which is great, obviously. And ultimately, that just comes from, focusing on customer service. So, which I guess that's my nearly 20 years working in retail translating over as far as like a skill set goes, which is helpful, I suppose. All those years of customer service paying off when it comes to eBay selling too. So this is actually kind of crazy. I'll have to look into this, but that's Pop Series card, which is like, you definitely don't see those very often. Pop Series 6. I know it's just a Starly, but we'll have to, it's a little, got some play to it, probably moderately played condition, but we'll see. Those Pop Series cards are pretty rare, so I wonder about that one actually. Yeah, this collection overall condition is probably light play on average at best, which is a little unfortunate, but if there's anybody new here, welcome to the Sand Stream. My name is Ryan. This is T-Tar Collects. Ask me anything you want. I will answer to the best of my ability, whether it's about Pokemon, business, eBay selling, TCG selling in general, what to do with the cards that you have, anything you'd like. That goes there. Getting down, kind of winding down here a little bit in this last stack. So if anybody does have any other questions, drop them in there. But if not, I'm probably going to wrap up in a couple minutes here. Thank you for keeping me company while I was sorting through these piles of bulk. I definitely appreciate it. Got that. Lost Thunder, the Porygon. No problem. It's been fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think eventually, I mean, I just kind of hopped on here again because I could. No better reason than, I had streaming enabled because I hit the sub threshold for streaming on my phone, and I figured why not? I think eventually my goal would be to have like a dedicated night a week to having a stream. I don't know what night that'll be. I have no idea at this time, but kind of figure that out as we go. And then longer term, maybe a rip and ship. That would be pretty awesome. And get that up and going. To grow the channel a little bit more and get like a decent community going. So yeah, I think a rip and ship would be a lot of fun actually. I love opening packs of Pokemon. So just being able to open, oh no, sorry about that. Being able to open a bunch of packs would just be really awesome. So we'll see. That's definitely something I want to consider and pursue in the future. But yeah, I think that will pretty much do it. So thank you all for hanging out. Anybody that was here, I know some people were here and left. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you joining me for my first ever stream. I will thank you again. And have a great night. And I will see you all in the next video. And I'll see some of you at work on Monday. Have a good night.